and it just makes you feel worse in your own body because you produce cortisol. And cortisol is something that binds onto more cortisol, right? So it's like it becomes a snowball effect. So you're like stressed, but then you get stressed about being stressed, and then you get stressed about being stressed about being stressed.
Welcome to the Better Man Podcast with Ivan and Sumed. This podcast is all about how to be an optimal, conscious male in today's society. Join Ivan and Sumed as they go deep into the rabbit hole of personal growth, mindset, social dynamics, and spirituality. Are you ready to be a better man?
Everyone, welcome back to the Better Man Podcast
with Ivan and Sumed.
I almost said it.
We killed it, bro.
We fucked it up. You're gonna have to hear this again, audience. We're talking to you. Everybody, welcome back to the motherfucking best podcast with the motherfucking best motherfucking hosts in the whole entire best motherfucking universe.
Ivan and Sumed.
Now you're supposed to say Ivan and motherfucking Sumed.
Ivan and motherfucking Sumed, man.
Yo, what were you saying right now about you channeling lizards?
No, I wasn't personally channeling a lizard, bro. But I saw a bunch of lizards, and I put it on my Insta story. And this one chick was saying she's an animal channeler, and a lizard means that, it means it's reminding you to be comfortable with your own body, like being safe within your own body. And that really resonated because I've been like changing my diet and stuff and seeing myself in the mirror differently. Mm-hmm. It's quite interesting to like accept yourself as this new kind of self. You were saying that a while ago before we started recording, like embodying the bad boy as well, right? Like accepting that.
Yeah, for me, I had this image of myself that was maintained from when I was a kid, where I was like the quiet kid, right? I was the kid that stayed to myself. The shy kid, I was like the kid at church who would just sit down and be quiet and wouldn't like be disruptive or anything. Of course, even there was times when I was a kid and me and my sister would get under the pews, under the benches, and we would be playing around. I don't know what the fuck we were just fucking around. And my parents would be like, if you guys don't behave, we're not going to get you some ice cream after church. Right? So then I began behaving correctly so I can get that ice cream after church. Right? And then I began to be, I was a nice person for the sake of being nice, not because it was a personal choice, but because if I wasn't nice, the consequences were punishment.
Oh man, that's really important to know. Like you would get rewarded for being nice and punished for not being nice.
For just not listening. Like what adults considered to be a good kid is one that listens and does exactly what they're told to do.
It's interesting. My mom uses the word decent and sober. And I was like, all right, cool, I guess so.
What do you mean decent?
Like that's the word like that she uses because she grew up in like British, she grew up in like London and stuff, and like decent and sober were like kind of words to describe people, like people who wouldn't break the rules, right? People who just like follow the rules, be obedient.
They both mean the same thing.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, so not like sober as in like not intoxicated, but yeah, it's funny that that's the word.
I know what you mean. It's just that to me, I thought you were trying to describe like two different words, but I was like, those words sound like they mean the same thing.
Same thing, yeah, exactly.
But yeah, anyway, we're talking about how to protect yourself. How are you supposed to protect yourself? With this coronavirus, how to protect your own energy, how to protect yourself from so many different aspects in life, because you can't just protect yourself from one area. You have to have all around protection 24/7, 365. Mm-hmm. Right? So how are we going to do it, right? How are we going to fucking do it? That's what we're going to do it today. So that's why I think our affirmation of the day should be based on that topic. Should be based on protecting ourselves, right? Sumed was grounding his root chakra this morning. So I think we should do some sort of affirmation regarding the grounding of ourselves and the grounding of ourselves in safety, right? The grounding of ourselves in our truth, the grounding the grounding of ourselves, the rooting of ourselves, the unmovable, the unshakableness within safety. That's what we're gonna do. That's what this intention is all about right now. So I set the intention to allow the universe to give me everything I need. I am thankful for the universe giving me everything that I need. I am ready to receive. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I know I am eternally safe. Yeah.
I don't like pulling on my skin, but I had to pull on that one anyway.
I actually have root chakra affirmations on my phone, guys. So it's really.
Well, how do you protect yourself? How do you protect your energy, so?
I do a banishing ritual actually. I learned it from a sorcerer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately I can't share that here, but because it's like an oath and stuff. But
Yeah.
I can sort of, I have rituals basically. I have different rituals that I use. Incense is an incredible one because it just disrupts the negative energy. One that you taught me, which was really interesting, on a phone call where we're both like suffering. We're both like kind of going through the Mercury retrograde time, and we're like, man, this sucks, right? I called you, and you were like clapping, man. Like,
Oh yeah.
Celebration, right?
Yeah.
It's a symbol
Bring
of
enthusiasm. Bring enthusiasm into the.
yeah. That really helped.
Definitely sound. I think. Did you freeze? All right.
Yeah.
Oh no, Sumed's frozen. Sumed's frozen. Oh, he unfroze. Oh my gosh, that was so shocking.
Fight or flight, but we also have freeze.
Freeze first. Yeah, freeze. That's true. Definitely working with sound has been very important for me. Like the other day, I was in the living room with my brother, right? And the door just opens, right? But we can't see the door open, right? Because it's around the corner. We're on the other side of the house. But it was just me and my brother inside the house. And we were expecting somebody to come in and try to scare us or something, right? But what ended up happening was that nobody opened up the door. The door opened up by itself, right? Kind of scary, kind of creepy, considering you have to turn the whole knob for the door to open, right? Now, what began to happen was we were both a bit scared, right? My brother was taking a piss, and I go up to him in the restroom, right? Like obviously not. I didn't go in the restroom. I just knocked on the door, and I was like, "Yo, Aaron, there's nobody at that door." And he's like, like son of a fucking bitch. And what I did was I was like, "Come on, sit here. We're gonna pray. And we're gonna start praying." Yeah.
That was weird, bro.
Yeah. So it was like, we're gonna start praying, and we started praying. And what ended up happening was I began to speak like I was going to murder the devil. Right? In such a powerful tone. The tone of my voice changed drastically from fear, and I took it into pride and anger. Right? That's the first levels. So if you need to get out of fear, you need to start speaking with pride, and you need to start speaking with anger. Right? Like, whoever the fucking demon is in this fucking house, I will fucking tear it apart, because nothing can fucking stop me right now. Right? I'm so fucking holy. I'm so fucking blessed. Right? And I was just shaking up all of the walls in the whole entire house. Right? And after that, we felt peace within. We felt safety. And then this is what was really, really interesting. Right? after I was able to deal with the emotional, the irrational, right? I began to be like, hey, maybe it was the wind. It's pretty windy outside right now. Maybe it's the wind. It went into the garage. It created a swirl. It somehow tapped into the crack, and it pushed open the little thingy that looked right. Just probably just pushed it a little bit, and that was enough for it to open the door. I was like, that makes a lot of sense, right?
Mm.
But see, I couldn't think like that until I dealt with the emotions that were inside of me first.
Yeah, that's really important. I was thinking about this the other day, like the sound bites in our mind. We have certain sound bites based on like different memories that we've had. Like, let's say you're about to approach a really attractive girl. If your sound bite is she's gonna say like, "Oh, I'm busy" or something like that, right? That's a sound bite. If your sound bite is different, if it's like something like she's gonna say, "Who are you? I think I've seen you before." That's a different sound bite, right? And that produces a different result. So if you talk to yourself in times of like for banishing an energy, if you like use a different soundbite in your mind,
Mm.
like how are you saying it? What is the tonality? So I liked how you said like from pride and anger, right? A higher vibrations of a sudden. If you speak to a demon or something like, "Hey man, please go away," it's just not gonna work, bro. It's so much more powerful than that tiny, like you have
Well, I
to
think for me it was more so like I was in fear and I didn't want to be in fear. Right? So I needed to get out of fear as soon as possible, right? And the quickest way to do that was to tap into the anger, because that's like I don't know, a few energy points.
Slightly higher. Yeah. That's cool, man. Yeah, it's like amplification, but you're like amplifying it so that your consciousness rises slightly.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
that's
So
cool.
that's what I do whenever I don't feel safe. I always look to tap into like what's the closest level of energy that I can do here,
Mm.
right? And that's how I manage to protect my energy, and I actually protect other people like that, and I actually help other people's consciousness rise by being just like being higher energy than them, right?
Mm.
And you're probably noticing this too. You're changing your diet a lot. I'm changing my diet. I found out I had fucking eczema um near my legs, right? I didn't fucking want that shit, right? I don't want no fucking eczema, right? I don't
Yeah.
want to go meet a girl and she's about to suck my dick and she's like, yo, you got this fucking weird rash by your leg. Like, it's
Yeah.
fucking weird. That's pretty weird, right? So I began.
Like like the example you thought of that is like a blowjob. It's interesting. Okay, yeah, for sure.
Uh, and then, so what I did was like, only juices, only fruits, only vegetables. That's all I'm eating right now, right? And um, I've been eating some nuts, granola. Actually, I had some granola with dark chocolate yesterday, right? It wasn't too much.
Mm.
But the whole point is that my diet has been changing so much, and I've been realizing how much addicted I was to sugar, right?
Yeah.
Which is 9 times more addictive than cocaine, right?
Yeah.
And it's
Sugar's horrible,
tastier,
yeah.
and it's tastier than cocaine. I've tried cocaine.
Horrible.
It was not, because I tried it because I don't want nobody to tell me what something is like, right? I want to experience it for myself, right? I tried it, wasn't for me. It wasn't for me, right? It wasn't for me. But anyway, um, so changing has the food had basically had helped like move shit that's stuck inside of you for a really long time.
Actual shit as well.
The average person, the average is most people, right? Because the average is like the slope with the most people
Mm.
have about 20 pounds of shit stuck inside their body.
Yeah.
20 pounds of fucking shit. Now, what's happening is because your colon is holding on to this shit, and the shit has the toxins from the previous food that you ate, right? Your colon is still absorbing in those toxins, so it's having cravings for those things that were doing you harm, right? So that's why I also said drink more water if you have cravings, right? Because
Yeah.
you are essentially not being flushed. You're essentially not being flushed, right? And you're still wanting that thing that is hurting you, right? So you can't protect your energy if you have energy that's stuck inside your own body. If it's literally stuck, you can't protect yourself because energy needs to flow. Energy needs to be moving, right? And when we have like congestion, like if it's hard to breathe, congestion in your nose, it's hard for air to move. That's the same way with energy. That's the exact fucking same way with your own auric field. You cannot protect yourself if you're congested. And that's how motherfucking food helps with fucking spirituality, bitches.
What about like mouth breathing? I know that that's a bad thing to do. Do you know like why that is? Like,
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think it's bad.
no, but if like somebody's doing it a lot, right? It's like not beneficial because maybe it's something to do with CO2 and like, because if you're taking way more of a breath, I'm not sure exactly for the science behind it. I thought you knew something about it.
I do know something, right? Brian Rose, he has the very famous world famous podcast,
London Real.
the London Real Show.
Yeah.
His fucking trainer, the guy who trained him for his Iron Man, he told him that when he goes to sleep, put tape over his mouth, right? And allow yourself to only breathe in through your nose. I don't know why. That's the thing. I still don't know why, but I know that this guy recommended it to him, and this guy had a big effect. It had a big effect on his life, right? So there obviously is something to do with breathing through your nose that is important.
Yeah, I saw a recent like post based on that. Yeah, I guess I can pull that up, but yeah. So other things that are used for banishing, or like banishing, I guess of banishing, but I'm saying like protecting your energy. So one thing for me is I like to visualize, right? I really like to use a lot of images in my mind. Like if I have an unhelpful image, like if I'm saying I'm terrified, I imagine what that looks like. If I say this is torture, I imagine what that looks like. And it just makes you feel worse in your own body because you produce cortisol. And cortisol is something that binds onto more cortisol, right? So it's like it becomes a snowball effect. So you're like stressed, but then you get stressed about being stressed. And then you get stressed about being stressed about being stressed, right? So it's like this constant like avalanche of stress. So
Yeah.
one way to do that is just breathe from your belly instead of your chest, right? That's a quick way to do that. It just calms
Balance out cortisol. Balance out cortisol.
Yeah.
How deep do you breathe in for that?
I hold it in the mornings. I hold it more because in the mornings it wakes me up more if I'm taking deeper breaths and holding it more. So like 8 seconds, I would hold it in longer. For the nighttime, kind of less, but so like 3 seconds or 4 seconds. Just because like the cortisol in the morning is very strong, right? It's what wakes us up essentially.
It is.
So much more deeper breath in the mornings helps for sure.
Yeah, and if you can balance out the stress that's happening within yourself, you can obviously protect your energy more and you can think more clearly.
Yeah, in Wim Hof breathing, he has this like course. I did like maybe 2 weeks of it, and then I like stopped. But anyway, what I learned from that is like when you hold your breath, all your blood vessels, right, are being dilated, and like you can actually, as you exhale, you can send.
They're being dilated. What do you mean?
Yeah. So they're like expanding, right? So all of the energy is being built up. Think of like a Super Saiyan charging their energy, right? So when you hold it, then it's like it has nowhere to go now. So it's just like storing, building up, right? Building up energy. And if you can hold it and then you let go and you send it consciously to a certain part of your body, like your knees. So intentionally you're sending energy to your knees as you exhale. That's going to really help your knees because you've now visualized it and you've allowed yourself to send it to a particular body part. You can do this with any body part.
Yeah, wherever thought flows, energy goes.
Okay, so this is what I got. So Your nose represents a multi-level defense system to not only prevent particles from making their way inside of you, but also pathogens and nasty bacteria. The mucus inside of your nose is extremely effective at drawing in bacteria and trapping them. So, yeah, at the top of your nose, up towards the sinus, nitric oxide is formed. And that's a vasodilator, which helps with ease of breath naturally. Yeah.
Yeah, nitric oxide helps with blood flow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I used to take that stuff.
That's found when you breathe through your nose. So that's what they found, the benefits.
Shit. Damn. So better blood flow through breathing through your nose.
Yeah, wow, right?
No wonder we do pranayamas. Everybody we breathe out through one nose, same nostril, breathe in, then cover that nostril, switch to the other one, breathing in through one, blowing out through the other one, breathing in again, blowing out, breathing in through the same one, do that flow. That's gonna help you build your nitric oxide blood flow.
Yeah.
That's
In
awesome.
yoga, they have these points, right? Shushumna is like the main one, which is your spinal like energy. And there's Ida and Pingala. That's like masculine, feminine energy, right? So technically
Shit.
So you're balancing out your hemispheres as you're doing this pranayama thing. It's a divine thing, man.
Damn, that's so cool. Okay, so another way that I've protected my energy is it's in, like, let's just say I'm having a difficult conversation with somebody, right? Sometimes I'll put my hands into mudras, right? Right, as I'm doing.
Can you tell people, did you know some of the mudras?
Huh? Yeah.
Do you know some of them? What is that one?
I know quite a few mudras.
Yeah.
This one's like root chakra and like this one's like a balance. These are all just balance. I can't get I'm not able to get super it's more like this. It's more like the tips, right?
Oh, okay.
So
Okay, I see.
So for me, I'm someone who's highly connected to divine through my third eye, my sixth sense, and my ability to connect to the universe and understand it, right? So, like as Sumed knows, I just invent shit all the time, right? But it's not really an invention. It's really just
This is discovery, bro.
it's just discovery. It's just me being able to tap into that vibration, right? So with these things,
Kawaii.
like you're gonna be able to find it on your own, which is the perfect position for you. Just moving your fingertips slightly, and you're gonna be able to feel where it feels really strong, and you're gonna begin to feel in your root, right?
Yo, that makes sense because I recently saw a diagram of palmistry or like some kind of like pressure points, and here's the anus, right? Which is the root, like in the thumb, like right where the thumb is. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, that makes sense now, right?
Yeah, that makes a lot of fucking sense. Yeah, this is a good one. The one I'm holding up, right? This is a good one.
What's that one?
This is a good. These are all for like root and sacral, right? This is the one that Sadhguru taught us. I think it means this means like
yoga
oneness.
Yeah.
Yeah, oneness, being one within yourself, one within the world. If you can realize that you're the same as somebody else, right? It's actually easier to make connections with fucking the highest level people in the room, right?
Yeah.
Because if you can, so a problem that I used to have was being like, if somebody they weren't useful to me. Let's put it that way. If they weren't useful to me or my purpose, then I would lose connection with that person, right? And then there was like friends that I used to be friends with in high school and shit like that. Stopped talking to them, stopped seeing them because they're like, I was like, yo, these low vibration ass creatures. They ain't doing shit with their fucking life. They ain't fucking doing no funny shit like, you know. So I'm gonna back away from them, but realizing like, yo, I mean, they're still people. They're still fun. They're still human. Like, obviously, if someone's vibration is really pulling you down, you could stay away from them, right? And sometimes I just start chanting, Literally, when if I'm somewhere and I'm like, this is a bit weird. I don't like these people. I'm just gonna start Om chanting out loud, you know, and sometimes they just go away. They'll literally just go away, right? Because they'll
It's
be like,
awesome.
this guy's weird, and then they'll go away, and I'll be like, damn, fuck it. Yeah, I want you to go away. Yeah, I did want you to go away. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what I noticed when I was doing the root chakra, sort of grounding myself in the park? I was like placing my feet down first, and then I sort of just got into a meditation posture, and I was just meditating with my little earbuds.
Mm,
And I just put on a root chakra meditation. I was just doing that for a little bit, and I felt such sudden surge of energy. Then I noticed all these people looking at me, like all these people around the park, right? They were just all like kind of tuned in. And then I noticed, wait a minute, the root chakra is associated with survival. So maybe these people are meant to be there. Maybe they're meant to challenge my ideas and like concepts in that moment. So that really helped me, like the ideas of it,
mm-hmm,
like the ideas of the energy centers can really help you in that present moment to access the energy center.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of people say that your root was possibly also in your feet.
Yeah, totally.
So what I've actually been noticing is like
Grounded, right?
just
Yeah.
just feel the bottom of your feet as you're walking. Just
Yeah.
feel, and for me, like um I have one of my like I have a little bit of bad posture, right? From like being on the computer, sometimes shoulders roll forward, get on your phone, head leans forward, right? I mean, oh shit. uh my hips are a bit off, they're a bit like right. So what I've been doing is I've been sleeping on the floor, and it's allowing my body to straighten out, right? And
Mm.
by straightening it out, again, I'm removing those blockages, those energy blockages that I have, right? And and I think that's probably the biggest thing is feeling your body. That's the best way to protect yourself. Feel your body, each and every part of it, each behind your fucking knees, you know, your thighs, like literally go scan from the top of your head, as long as it'll
Mm.
take you, every single body part, every single inch of your whole entire body moving down, right?
Yeah, notice the tension, yeah, and let
If
go
there's
of it.
any
Like
tension, if
intuitively
there's
move.
any tension, yeah, if there's any tension there, acknowledge it. Be like, yeah, I have this in me, but don't associate yourself with it. Just notice that's the energy that's flowing inside of you. That energy is not you. The energy is not you, but you become the energy that you hold in.
Mm.
You
Yeah,
become
yeah.
an expression of the energy that you hold in, right?
Mm.
Recently, like when it comes to gender, right? Gender is something that we express because that's the version that we of energy that we want to explore and discover on Earth. That's the energy that we want to explore while we're here.
Mm. That's interesting. Yeah, something that I do to protect myself from people is just like tap into my heart energy a bit more, because I'm thinking too logically in that moment. I'm thinking too much from my brain. But when I come to my heart, it like
Mm.
helps to kind of calibrate it, you know? And then I imagine almost like a force field, like a superhero, like a
Mm.
like a force field of love energy, like just protecting so anything that they say just bounces off. It's like bing.
Mm.
It's like verbal bullets, right? Verbal diarrhea, like blah, like people are talking all this shit at you, but at the
Mm.
same time, it's like there's this, um, like I don't know, Purex, like clean, like like this nice, like force field, right? That's just like protecting you and keeping you cleansed.
Bro, do you consider yourself uh an empath?
I think so. Like I definitely used to. I feel a lot more open to. I think it's just another way of understanding ourselves. I think everybody can be an empath. at
Mm.
some level if they really tap into their emotions. Yeah.
Mm.
Um, Same thing that I feel with these new terms. A lot of the new terms is like, yeah, a part of it is true, but a part of it still needs to be explored.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So if you are an empath, yeah, you're going to feel other people's emotions. You're going to sometimes, even think what they think and get their ideas in your head. And you basically become like a sponge, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
which I have felt at times that does happen. But just thinking of a way like to excuse a certain kind of thing, like, oh, I'm an empath. That's why I can't, you know, feel this thing, or I'm feeling too much because I'm an empath, right? So it becomes like some people use it as like an excuse or whatever. Like, oh yeah, I don't have boundaries because I'm too much of an empath. What do you mean? Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think it's a helpful term to definitely understand yourself, but also like be wary of labels. Yeah.
Mm. Mm. Definitely, definitely, definitely. I actually, because I realized I'm an empath, right?
Mm,
That thing that you explained, where like you read other people's thoughts just by
yeah.
being in their energy, um, that's been very beneficial to me to helping other people at this point. But before,
It's a blessing and a curse, man. Yeah.
dude, because so the way this lady described it, right? You're gonna find this really interesting,
Hmm.
because it has to do with brain development, right? And like human development, right?
Yeah.
So when you put babies in nursing, at like let's just say 12 babies were popped out the oven that day, right? They put them in the room, right? And they put them all together. If one baby starts crying, all of all of the babies start crying, bro. If
That's
all,
true. That's true.
so that's because
Domino effect.
those the other babies that started crying because of that one first baby, they can't distinguish their own emotions from other people's emotions.
Yeah.
That's what
Mm,
that's literally what happens, right? So they think, oh, I want to cry, and that's why they start crying, right? So
yeah.
so then as an empath, all of the emotions that were going around happening around me as a
Yeah.
kid, I thought those were my emotions, right? Now,
Yeah.
you see the reason we think like that is because we just came from oneness, right? We our soul literally just came from oneness, right? And then now we come into earth and we're in multiness, right? Separateness,
Mm,
egoness, right?
mm,
And we're not able to distinguish our own emotions from other people, and that's why that's why I did have trouble setting boundaries, right? Uh,
mm,
and I mean, still to this day now, because I know that I'm an empath, I'm able to be like, yo, okay, how can I protect my energy and realize that these are not my thoughts? So anytime if somebody's yelling at me, right, I'll be more peaceful, right? Because I mean, part of me might want to choke them and fucking beat their ass up, right? But then I think that's really not effective, right? That's not an effective thing. That's the Scorpio in me. That's the Scorpio in me wanting to fight back,
yeah,
right?
for
Uh,
sure.
but then I'm like, those are not my emotions. Those are not my emotions, right? And I think that's probably one of the best ways that I've been able to protect my energies by saying like, that's not me. Just say that. That's
Mm,
not me. That's not me.
yeah. And sometimes, emotions are just like signposts, like they just tell you something. Like, for instance, if you feel sadness about something and it's like tears of joy, then it's like, yeah, that thing was meaningful to you, right? That's why you're crying. So I feel like sometimes emotions just need to, like, as a reminder, like we feel angry at times because we feel powerless or we don't have any control over a situation, and it comes out in anger. And anger is kind of, directly related to fear too.
Mm-hmm.
So when people are expressing emotions, we've got to be much more understanding, because hurt people, it's just a fact. Like, people who are going through a lot of negative, toxic emotions, they actually need the most love. Um, and so, yeah, it's just an important reminder to, like, when you are protecting yourself, yeah, beware of that. Like, The fact that, yeah, you don't want yourself to get like sort of dragged down by their energy too much, because then you can't function throughout the day. I use this technique, so I'll share this technique with you guys. When I feel like I'm taking people's comments too personally, I just like sort of put myself into the zone where they're reading me like a gossip magazine or like a storybook, and might be talking about me, but I'm not the author, right? They're the author. So they're just like reading me this book, and I'm like, I change my mindset to like, oh, that's intriguing. Tell me more about me. That's funny that you think of me in that way, in that perspective, you know? So it changes, it changes my mindset.
Yo, like that one fucking lady that was commenting on our post about fucking saying that women don't need men. That women should
Oh
stay
yeah.
with men.
But dude, like look at her username. You know what I mean?
I
It's
know,
snarly feminist or whatever. Like
and I was just like, no post, nobody can see her, no follower. Like, I'm
at
just
least she's self-aware she's a snarly feminist. So
so. I mean,
there was this one YouTube comment, like annoying YouTube guy. Like I saw it, I was like, no shit, you're in the comment section right now. Like this is what you're brought on earth to do, to piss people off. Like sometimes people need to get triggered like that, you know. I feel.
yeah, I always say like, whatever you feel based on what I said or what I did, that's just on you.
Yeah.
Because I remember one time I was watching a scary movie in class, in middle school, and this girl Angelica was laughing her ass off, right? And I was like, this is creepy as hell. You're telling me you think this is funny? You're telling me you think this is funny? Like, bitch, you're fucking crazy. Like, that's what I was thinking at the time. But now I'm
Yeah.
realizing, like, it really is just a matter of perspective.
Totally, man. Totally is. Because yeah, I remember laughing during a scary movie once with my cousin. I think it was The Exorcist. Is when The Exorcist, like the character just like started peeing on the floor. I don't know. There's something funny about that, bro.
Mm,
Like just a demon peeing on the floor. It's just weird, you know. So we just both started laughing, and it was meant to be really scary at the time. We were both like kids, like little kids, you know. And we were both like, "What the heck is happening right now? Like this is so bizarre." Like, but then yeah, I guess it does have happen based on perspective,
mm-hmm,
and I think it can be a coping mechanism at times as well. I've used humor, a way to laugh at something when I don't really want to face it. Like I'll just use humor as a way to help me to process. So any kind of coping mechanism is actually like a way that we handle our addictions, right? Because it's self-administered pain medication. Like we're giving ourselves, you know, the way out of it. It's our way to heal our pain. But if we could tackle the initial pain,
mm,
it would just be so much easier to heal that addiction, right?
mm-hmm. Sometimes people, I'm realizing right now when you laugh, that's like shaking your chest, shaking your stomach, shaking
Mm.
your abdomen, your back. You're opening
Yes,
up your neck. You're literally opening up your neck, right?
guys, you heard it here first on the Better Man podcast. Laughing is bioenergetics.
Yeah, bro. Laughing is bioenergetics 100%. Like, you're literally
Like,
telling your body, I'm safe. I'm safe.
yeah,
That's literally you fucking open up your hands wide.
releasing, yeah. Ha ha ha! You're letting something out. Totally, man.
If you're black, you probably start banging on the fucking chair or some shit.
Yeah,
if you're in
totally.
if you're a group of black people, like everybody like will run away, right? You know what I mean? I don't
Does
know.
happen.
Honestly, I love black people. They're so fucking grounded people. They're so fucking
They're the most grounded, I would say. Yeah,
very
totally.
confident and they're very musical. They're very talented people. Like very,
Yeah.
very talented people. Yeah, black people are awesome guys. Black people are this shit.
Mm. Totally, man. Yeah, I felt that way when I was listening, because I told you that, like, you know, when I was rapping, it particularly helped me with my root chakra, and I realized because it was such a grounded thing, right? It was such a grounded thing, and it comes from African American culture, and yeah, it just really, there's something so solidifying about it. even the words that like the slang is like a way to like get back to the earth and nature. You know, I feel there's something along with it. Like, yo, you know, it's very powerful. It's strong. It's like, yo, it's not like let's take another word, for instance, like
Goddamn, 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 goddamn.
goddamn. Yeah, it's still powerful. Like ad libs do that, right? Like rappers who use ad libs.
Mm-hmm.
Ad libs are like things in the background, right? So yeah, like Little John, you know. Okay, it's very grounded.
The sound effects to life.
Mhm, yeah. Yeah, if you could imagine a way, we're trying to give the audience weird tactics now. If you could imagine your life had ad libs, like what would they be?
Bro, so when I'm driving and I do a turn, sometimes I go skirt skirt.
Yeah,
And I'll just turn, you know what I mean?
that's awesome.
And it feels very nice to tap into the sound of the skirt skirt, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So if I think about it from a highly spiritual level, it's like feng shui. You know what I mean? Feng shui is like the movement of energy, right? And that's what skirt skirt is, man. It's that energy got to skirt skirt out of here. You know,
Mm.
you gotta stay out of here, man.
Yeet. Yeah, it's like get
Yeet.
this energy out of me.
Get the
Get this
fucking energy
energy
out of
out
here.
of me. Get out of here. Yeah.
Dab, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
You're like using the energy that it gets out. I'm making shit up now, right? But like
It's awesome though.
the energy leaves
How to dab
energy leaves your fingers.
how to dab the demons away.
Dab the demons away.
It's awesome.
And
Man,
then
I hope you guys are getting lots of value from this episode.
yeah,
Guys, we love you.
fucking bad boys out there. Using spirituality to
And
show.
some baddies too. I see you too.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yo, I'm not really into baddies.
You're into what? Goodies?
I'm into goodies.
Hey. All them goodies out there. All them goodies. Bring that booty. Hey.
So, a highly advanced way of protecting your energy is by bringing in, like, imagining like energy going into the top of your head, right? Goes into the top of your head and moves down your whole body, right? You want to imagine that whole light embodying you, that whole entire light embodying you, right? And then sort of like move it from the center of your body to where it expands outwardly, right? That is one of the best ways.
Yeah.
Now, we can take it up another level here, right? Or if you just want to cleanse yourself, use golden light, imagine golden light, right? But we humans are like the fucking Pink Floyd cover album with the rainbow that comes out, right? On one side. We
Yeah,
are,
dark side of the moon. Yeah.
yeah, so when we talk about the root, we say red. When we talk about sacral chakra, orange, navel chakra, yellow, a heart chakra, green, throat chakra, blue, I believe so. I don't know. I get lost at this point.
Yeah, it's blue. Yeah.
And then third eye, purple, and then crown, they use like baby blue, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like indigo or violet or something like. Yeah, but honestly, some people also think that it's white, because it's just like, you know, all the like white is like either the absence of all the colors or like
Use all the colors together.
all the colors together, right? Yeah, that's what I meant.
So
Yeah.
whichever chakra of yours that you think that needs the most work, imagine that color not just in that chakra, but imagine that color in your whole body. right? Because we are in layers, right? So the way your aura is, it's you're not just. And so if someone says your aura is blue, they're not saying that you are blue. They're just saying
Right.
that the color that's on the outside of you is blue, right?
Right.
You are in layers. You have all the colors in layers within you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I've been listening to, I should say, this book by Anna Dia Judith. One is called The Chakra System, which I'm re-listening to. The other one is Eastern Body, Western Mind, which is really, I recommend everybody who wants to learn more about chakras, just go listen to those two books. Like, they're going to explain a lot of things. Also, so I wrote a few notes down, and one was like, imagine the energy from a chakra to come in, like the energy can come in and go out, like it's a restaurant, right? So it's like a closed restaurant can't take in more energy. It just can't make any money, right? It's just like closed, it's done. So that's often like an avoidant energy pattern. So like it doesn't allow for itself, so it's stagnant, or um so it's not allowing new energy to come in, right? And the opposite is an excessive chakra, which is like it's overcompensating. So it's like it's too full. The restaurant's too full, like too many customers. You can't handle it. It's like, it's chaotic, right? So you need an open and closed, like people coming in, people going out, right? So when a chakra is open, you want to maintain that it's not too full, but it's also not too closed, right? There's not, the doors aren't like, difficult to get into or whatever. So I like that analogy of the restaurant. I think that's quite cool.
Definitely. Don't overcompensate.
Yeah. I wrote down Rainbow Bridge. Yeah, they call it a rainbow bridge, like even in like, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, right? That's from the whole chakra system thing as well. Valhalla, like their idea of in Nordic myth, they also have this idea of them going like merging heaven and earth. So chakras is all about like from this plane of existence to that other plane of existence. Trying to merge the two, find the bridge between them, which is the rainbow bridge. Yeah. So it's super interesting stuff, man, if you really want to go into it.
Yeah. I think we're coming to a close.
For sure. All right, guys.
Everybody, I want you to go to Amazon. I want you to go to Amazon, and I want you to type in the search bar, command respect, right? If you go to Amazon, type in command respect, learn to set boundaries, using consciousness, psychology, and the law of attraction. This book is going to help you in business. This book is going to help you in your relationships. This book is going to help you in your own relationship. It's going to help you with discipline. It's going to help you with ending procrastination. It's going to help you with learning how to have difficult conversations that need to be had, right? But we've kind of been avoiding them. If you read this book, you're going to be able to have those difficult conversations and not have it not backfire on you like it used to. So Matt read the book. Let him know, bro.
Yeah, it's really succinct. It's a really easy read, guys, as well. Like you get through it and you learn a lot really fast. And the basic thing is like you get to implement what you read. So it's really awesome, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I wanted
Also,
to mention today.
yeah, if you guys want, you can check out my book too. It's called A Magic Nation. And I also have another one called Transcend Mediocre. That's kind of like a manifesto. It's more like very, very simple rules that I kind of abide by. And I wrote it down a little while back, but then I just put everything together, all that wisdom, and made it succinct into one book. And also, Imagination is about creativity. So if you're struggling with that, if you're getting writer's block, or if you can't really find any structure or different ways to enhance your creativity, that's definitely a good book to go to. It has a lot of tools scientifically, but also spirituality-wise. So it helps both left brain people and right brain people in that way. So yeah, definitely merging the hemispheres together. That's what I'm planning to do, man. I just really want to take this Eastern philosophy and, combine it with Western productivity in a way where we can just learn from both sides, man. And just, yeah, this wisdom is like Sadhguru does it well. A bunch of people do it very well, but you know, we need this knowledge a lot more easier to comprehend, much more digestible than all the fucking Vedas and like, you know, all this stuff, which is very difficult to get through. But once you learn some of the maps that are out there, like chakra map being one of them, it really, really helps you out, man. So yeah, peace out, brothers and
Everybody,
sisters.
go out there, be a better fucking man today. Dominate the fucking world. Dominate yourself. Dominate your fucking art. Live life like an art. Live life like an art. Live life like an artist. Be the artist of the world. Be the artist of your mind. Be the artist of your feelings.
Woo! Let's get it.
If you would like to contact Sumed for peak performance coaching, go to @FlowZone Academy on Instagram. That's FLOZONE Academy. If you would like to connect to your higher self, contact Ivan at odd.resilience. That's ODD.resilience. Also, make sure you follow the Better Man podcast on Instagram. See you next time.